Hey, my name's Josh Brown, and this is my story.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're here with Josh. He's going to give us a brief detail about high blood pressure. A lot of people don't know about high blood pressure, so he's going to break it down and make y'all know about high blood pressure. Number one killing, silent killer. So Josh going to break it down and let us know about high blood pressure. Take it away, Josh.
Yes, my name's Josh Brown. Teaching you guys a little bit about high blood pressure and what it could cause, and eventually. As far as high blood pressure, I'm gonna just tell you about my story with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had high blood pressure, which
Okay.
is kind of like the biggest killer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things as far as um, when you're not noticing it, like you get headaches. Some
Yeah.
people think they're headaches here in the front or the back.
Yeah.
It's actually hypertension,
Okay.
which is kind of like in the neck area, in the
Okay.
back of the head, in the neck area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get that. Sometimes, you feel your heart race a lot.
Okay.
There's other things like as far as with high blood pressure, but a lot of people don't know it, and that's
Yeah.
cause of eating a lot of salty foods,
Okay.
not taking care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of sugar, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. So I heard you can get high blood pressure can affect your kidney, your heart, also your eyes, also your brain. It's a lot of stuff. So can you break that down for us?
Yes, in my case, high blood pressure, because I didn't know it and I was living with it for so long,
Yeah.
my high blood pressure damaged my kidneys.
Oh.
So which caused me to have renal disease,
Oh damn.
which is basically my kidney function started to deteriorate,
Oh.
which causes like the blood flow to the kidneys to go down.
Yeah.
And your kidneys is like the ultimate filter for your body.
Yeah.
And in that case, that filter is no longer working. So
Mhm.
any like water waste or anything as far as like urine and everything,
Yeah.
my body was holding on to it.
Okay.
So which caused my body, my hands and everything, arms, legs, everything to swell up.
Damn.
So I thought in my story I was just gaining weight,
Oh.
but it was actually my body was swelling with fluid.
Oh. Damn.
And eventually I had this thing called weeping edema.
Wow, guys, you ever heard about that?
Uh, Weeping edema is like when your legs swell up really big,
Oh.
but the part where it's weeping is because your body has held on to this fluid for so long
Okay.
that it's got to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
So fluid will start coming out of the pores of your body.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they call it weeping edema. um,
That's something new, guys.
and then for me, like I went into the hospital, and I remember when they took my blood pressure, it was 220 over 198.
Wow. Guys, sorry, he could die. That can kill you, man.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the silent killer. Because he didn't even know that his blood pressure was so high. So break it down again, man.
So from there, the doctors, and it was kind of funny. They asked me, "They go, how did you walk in here?" And I was like, "I didn't just walk. I drove in here.
Damn.
I drove to the hospital by myself. My wife, then she was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was with me,
Mm-hmm.
and they decided to put me on heart attack and stroke watch.
Wow.
Just because they were like, we got to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So they did ultrasounds and everything, and they finally figured out that my kidneys were pretty much shut down.
Wow.
They were well damaged as well too, but pretty much shut down.
Wow, man.
And all this happened on Easter Sunday of 2019.
Wow.
So I remember that date very well. When I was diagnosed, and I was in the hospital for a week. They were working on getting all this fluid off of me and everything, and then eventually November 22nd
Mm-hmm.
of 2019, I was officially put on dialysis.
Ooh.
Um, and that was hard for me because I had so much hope for myself that I could beat it and fight it.
Yeah.
But it was just that moment of being told that I was going to be on dialysis and having to get the surgery for
Yeah.
this. I have a catheter port in my chest.
Wow.
That was a temporary port. And then I started doing dialysis, and that was also Christmas Day, or I wouldn't say Christmas Day, a couple days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I proposed to my girlfriend.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Because I didn't know how long I was going to be living for.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of like, it wasn't like a last ditch.
So sorry to cut you. So it's like you give up. You just say, all right, I'm no longer gonna be here, so I'm just gonna marry my wife and let her know that you really, really love her. Then.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
that's nice, man.
I just, because I was like, if I at least want to, be married before I go.
Exactly.
And I loved her very much. I still do. I'm married to her now, so did something great.
That's very nice, guys. That's very nice.
Continuing on, I had some other surgeries where I had a PD catheter installed here on my right side. So it's kind of a hose that goes into like your stomach area where I could do home dialysis. And I had a fistula, which is in my arm, in my scars and everything right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's installed for just in case dialysis. If that PD didn't work, I can go back in dialysis. They would inject 2 needles here. As you can see right here, I got like 2 little marks. That's where they would install them at. And that would help filter out through dialysis.
Yeah.
I know you guys keep hearing me talk about dialysis and everything. You're like, what is dialysis?
Yeah.
Dialysis is like I go to a center, and basically what they do is they take your blood and the fluid that's in your body that you're holding on to. For me, in that case, that was for me. It filters everything out.
Okay.
So it's almost like every day, it's 3 days out of the week. When I first started dialysis, I was going for 4 hours. I had to sit in a chair for 4 hours, hooked up to this machine that's filtering out my blood, which my kidneys would do.
Wow.
So it's just a giant machine that's basically a kidney.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's kind of, you're probably wondering, why don't you just get a kidney transplant or this and everything? It's not that easy, because there's a lot of factors that go into getting a kidney transplant.
So guys, high blood pressure ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. It's a serious thing, man.
Yeah. So from there, the machine, it actually, you're hooked up to this machine. You can't go anywhere. Everybody asks, does it hurt? No, you don't feel anything.
Wow.
But it just filters out all the blood. You can actually see it when it's a line is crossed against you, and you see your blood, and it's kind of just going through, and it filters out everything. So it's kind of like blood goes this way, clean blood comes back in.
Wow.
So it's your own blood, and it's just cycling through your whole body.
Wow.
So you don't feel it or anything like that.
Wow. Man.
So it's a very interesting take.
Wow.
But throughout that year of 2020, COVID happened. Yes, I was still working.
Yeah.
It didn't tear me down from basically not working, because I know a lot of people, when they do get on dialysis and other things, motivation goes down because you're like, I'm stuck here. I can't do anything. No, you can. You just got to really work. Everything, your whole diet has to change. So like if you're big on salt, cut that out. I'm not saying cut out all salt, but especially iodized salt. That is the biggest killer right there. More natural salts are better for you.
Okay, cool.
You just want to portion out your meals and everything. Like I'm not telling people, hey, you can't eat what you want. You have to eat these or this. No, you can still eat what you want, but you have to really portion your meals. Certain things you can and can't have. I know, like, while being on dialysis with renal disease, I'm not allowed to have pretty much tomatoes or potatoes, heavy starches like that, and a few other things. Dark sodas, that's a big one. Watch out for dark sodas. those I recommend not drinking them at all.
Cool, man.
Now throughout 2020, I was on the PD cath. I did get a promotion.
Yeah.
That's how I know Jason from work.
Yeah.
So I forgot to say that.
Yeah,
We work together.
Yeah.
I've known Jason for years. And, 2021 hits. And, it's really pretty much 2 months before my wedding and everything. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I got my family, everybody's coming. And my dad comes down with COVID.
Oh, wow.
And my mom, being who she is, took care of everybody.
Yeah.
So she took care of my dad during COVID, and she didn't realize she had COVID. But the hardest part is she had pneumonia too. So
my God, man.
Yeah, so I came back home when I found out she was sick, and I was trying, getting taking care of her.
Yeah.
It was hard getting her to the hospital because my mom, I can honestly say she's stubborn, but she wanted to be near the family as much as she could. But I had to beg and plead her to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Eventually, she went to the hospital. She thanked me for going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And that was a hard time because when she thanked me for going to the hospital and getting there, that was the last conversation I had with my mom.
Wow.
My mom passed away 12 days before my wedding.
Damn, man.
And
that's heartbreaking, man.
That's all she talked about when I did propose to my wife. All year she talked about it. And that was tough because everybody was there. My brother, my sister. My brother flew in from Phoenix, him and his wife. My sister was already home. My dad was there. But it's just that one person you really wanted to be there. And everybody thought I was going to cancel the wedding, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm still going through PD at home and everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't cancel the wedding. We continued on. But during that time, when I was on PD, my body wasn't accepting the at-home dialysis because I had all this fluid and everything, and it just wasn't accepting, and I was getting sick and sicker and sicker. It wasn't anything I was doing wrong or the machine or PD.
Yeah.
It was just my body was just not accepting it.
Okay.
So I made the tough decision to go back on dialysis 3 days a week. And
wow,
back to 3 days a week. Did that for another year. Come February 2022, I went to MUSC Charleston and did testing for the transplant. Now, mind you, when I was saying, back to what I was saying before about the transplant, it's hard because there's got to be certain factors as far as, your phosphate levels can't be high. Your blood's got to be good. You got to have, there's a list of things you got to make sure that are in this little tiny box of an area where everything's good. And I worked so hard to get on that list. And I did. Eventually I got on the list. Overjoyed. Overjoyed. And it was a fast turnaround because by September of 2022, I got September 8th, actually, 2022, I got my transplant. I got my kidney. And I told myself I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I can make this thing last as long as possible. And I did. After a year and a half, after a year with the kidney, I started getting sick again. I started getting sick, but not in the sense of how it was when I was sick when I was before the renal disease, when I was diagnosed. It was a different kind of a sick. I was getting sick from basically just random things. I had pneumonia. Had to go to the hospital for almost like a month
Wow.
because I ended up getting these lesions on my face and everything. So
Wow.
they didn't know if I had smallpox, cowpox,
Wow.
chickenpox. I got tested for everything.
Yeah.
So I was out for a month. And then, there's just other factors because some of the medications I've taken, which they're anti-rejection meds for the kidney, they're also immune suppressants.
Yeah.
So they knock your immune system down, and so you're more susceptible to get sick.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was, like I said, nothing I was doing wrong, doing everything right. So that's what happened between August of 2023 and December
Wow.
of 2023.
Man. So
Uh,
sorry. So you go through a lot, man.
yeah, you go through a lot. There's a lot of ups and downs with it. And then this past year, February, my body, I had fluid retention again. So my body started to swell up.
Wow, man.
And I noticed it right away. And I was telling my doctors,